Good evening, Raider baseball fans. It's baseball playoff time in Texas as we are set to get underway here in New Braunfels, where your Rouse Raiders are the visiting team tonight, as we will face the district champion out of District 26-5A, Canyon. They are 24-6 on the season, 12-2 in district. The head coach is Nick Kozel, 7 years as head coach. And Jonathan, they picked up their 100th victory for his career just the last game of the district play.
Oh, that's phenomenal. I remember when Crimpine got his 400th on the road at Laredo.
He's assisted by Derek Dunaway, Mickey Scott, Dustin Horner, and Reese McKinney. They finished as the district champion and have 8 returning starters, and you will recognize those names as we call them out throughout the broadcast. Their 2022 record, 27-9, 13-3. They were the district champion and were a regional finalist, finally losing to the eventual state champion Georgetown Eagles to end their season. The Rouse Raiders out of District 25-5A come in at 22-9 on the season, 9-5 in district play. Their head coach is Chad Crimpine with 22 years, 473 wins. He's assisted by Josh Harris, Dan LaPaglia, and Will Noble. They have 9 returning starters and finished 4th in district. Their 2022 record, 23-10-1, 10-4 in district. They were a bi-district finalist, the district co-champion, and were the 4th seed, defeated by Canyon in that bi-district round. Good evening, everyone. I'm Michael Francis alongside the one and only Jonathan Kaspar as we are just about to get underway here in New Braunfels, and it's a packed house. A to Z Sports representing here and taking pictures and video as the game progresses, and we will be going over the lineups here shortly.
Yeah, and obviously we're very hopeful to get this game in. We do have a little weather threatening, so be mindful of that as this game progresses. We may have a lapse in coverage or the broadcast. Obviously, we're going to get y'all back to it if that were to happen. We are really looking forward to this game.
It's actually the rubber stamp game, between these two programs, as these two teams have squared off the last 3 years. The Raiders taking the very first series and on that state tournament run, where Rouse came in as the 4th seed out of District 25-5A and defeated Canyon in 3 games.
And then the following year.
Right.
We have a flip-flop of almost identical situations of how Rouse was able to take down New Braunfels in 21. New Braunfels flipped the switch and did it to the Rouse Raiders here in 22. And here we are now in 23. So ready to go at it again.
It's going to be a great contest. I spoke with Coach Crimpine before the game, and he feels very confident about tonight and the Raiders' potential for this contest this evening. Let us know where you're listening in from and give us a shout out for your favorite players. If you are a Canyon fan, be sure and shout out too, and we'll recognize you here on the broadcast. As Raiders had their baseball banquet last night, and what a time it was. And
great night, great meeting of all the families from freshmen, JV, JV1, JV2 varsity, everybody getting to hang out and celebrate the boys' season and how well they've done. And they brought the awards back, which was awesome, voted on by the players for the players. Coaches have no influence on that. And that was really great to see for the kids.
The lineup for the Raiders tonight, leading off will be Rainer Heinrich at second base. He will be followed by number 10, Landon Miller in center field. Number 2, Mikey Caputo will be in right field. Number 7, Caden Kaspar in left field. Number 22, Nathan Miller will be the designated hitter. He will be hitting for the catcher. Number 14, Xander Forcell. Batting 6th will be the third baseman, number 3, Blake Gonzalez. Batting 7th will be the first baseman, number 34, Nolan Harris. Batting 8th will be the starting pitcher, number 11, Colin Correjo. Batting 9th will be the shortstop, number 12, Joseph Sparshoe, Little Shoddy. For the Canyon Cougars, leading off will be number 13, the center fielder, Isaac Iruretagoyina. Batting second will be number 30, Cayman Cantu at third base. Batting third will be number 22, Will Canalicchio at first. Batting fourth will be number 2, Sam Ortiz at short. Batting fifth will be number 10, Evan Janner in left field. Batting sixth will be number 18, Elijah Farley in right field. Batting seventh will be the designated hitter, number 17, Jackson Kinsey. He is batting for the pitcher, number 1, Braun Farr. Batting eighth will be number 16, Colin Ott. And rounding out the order will be the second baseman, number 1, Trip Villanueva. They're doing the introduction of the lineups here right now. But, Jonathan, the Raiders have their hands full. They didn't finish off in district as they had hoped to, as they dropped the last 2 versus Cedar Park. Going into the final game of the season, the Raiders had an opportunity to win the game and finish as district champion, but instead lose the contest in a pitching gem by Cade Davis to shut the Raiders out 7-0.
Yeah, and Cade Davis very familiar with Rouse, as Rouse was with him. He was a great lefty coming in as a freshman starter, I believe, for Cedar Park, and has just really progressed and gotten better as the years have gone on. And unfortunately, yeah, for the Rouse team, they really didn't have the results that they wanted on the season, and here we are back in New Braunfels Canyon.
So. Right, so, you know, maybe this is the way that you want to pan out. You look how the district fell out with co-champions once again out of this district with Cedar Park and Liberty Hill, and Cedar Park getting the district champion number 1 seed with Liberty Hill at number 2, and then Buda Hayes at the number 3 finishing. I believe they're taking on Steele, or not Steele, but
Liberty Hill's taking on Bernie Champion.
Right.
We have Kerrville Tivy taking on Cedar Park. Cedar Park did win, if you mentioned that, sorry. Cedar Park did win in the rubber match against Liberty Hill to take the number 1 spot. They had a 1-game playoff.
Now, would everybody please stand for the national anthem?
Now we're going to take a moment for the national anthem. We thank you for tuning in and watching Rouse Raider Baseball and SHN Sports. We'll be right back in just one moment.
Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we walked were so gallantly streaming, and the
And with that, Chris Stapleton, national anthem It's baseball time in Texas as we're set to get underway here in New Braunfels.
And I'll tell you what, there is not a single better way to kick off a sporting event than Chris Stapleton singing the national anthem. Unbelievable. Such a great rendition.
Defensively for the Cougars, on the mound, number 5, Bron Farr. Behind the plate, number 16, Colin Ott. At first base, number 22, Will Canalicchio. At second base, number 1, Trip Villanueva. At third base, number 30, Cayman Cantu. At shortstop, number 2, Sam Ortiz. In left field, number 10, Evan Janner. In center field, number 13, Isaac Irureta-Goyena. And in right field, number 18, Elijah Farley. Due up for the Raiders in the first, Rainer Heinrich, Landon Miller, and Mikey Caputo. So a little movement. Moving Landon Miller up in the lineup into that number 2 hole.
Yeah, and just coach, hopefully trying to take advantage of some of the hotter bats as the year has progressed. The top 4, by all means, are unbelievable, but unfortunately we are without Oscar Salazar in this outing, and that's where Landon Miller is going to come in and sort of help fill that spot for Oscar, who is normally the number 4, and then he moves Kaspar over to that spot, so in the cleanup. So we'll see how it progresses as we get a little bit blown out by the music here in the press box, as he did catch wind of our little glares and decided to shorten it up a little bit.
It's just blowing it out. The decibels are just really killer, and I've been dealing with that. I hate to be a complainer, but I've been dealing with that for the past hour and a half.
Yeah, me a little late to the game here with traffic on 35, but I made it, and we got up and running as on schedule here 10 minutes before game time, as it looks like the throwdown has occurred, and out comes Rainer Heinrich, and we are ready to get things rolling, folks.
Up to bat, number 9, Rainer Heinrich.
Rainer Heinrich will make his way to the plate for the first at-bat of the evening, with Bron Farr on the mound for the Cougars. Ott gives the sign. The first pitch from Farr misses high for ball 1.
Yeah, and Farr, a big over-the-top thrower here just on that first pitch, trying to really get that 12-6 breaking pitch.
The 1-0, this is hammered on into left field, and that'll be a leadoff base hit for Rainer Heinrich to get things going for the Raiders here in the first.
And Rainer Heinrich picking up exactly where he left off in district play, leading the Rouse Raiders with batting average, having an unbelievable junior year for that second baseman right there, and actually winning the team MVP vote by the boys last night. It's awesome to see.
Landon Miller digs in, 1 on with no outs here in the top of the first, and he will sky this one up. A high towering fly ball to left field. Jenner underneath it will make the catch to retire Miller for out number 1.
Following the out, up to bat, number 2, Mikey Caputo.
He put some underneath that. If he'd squared up on it, that would have been over the fence.
And I'll tell you what we're used to having this time of year, as we have for the last several years playing out here, is a massive south to north wind blowing directly out to left field.
Far from the stretch. The first pitch offering, that's high for a ball. The throw down to second in time, and Heinrich caught stealing. That will go 2-4 for out number 2. Mikey Caputo makes his way to the plate. Caden Kaspar on deck.
And I did miss what that call was at home plate.
It was a ball.
Okay.
Pitch down and away for ball 2.
And as normally here within district or postseason play, we do have 4 umpires here for this game, which is great to see.
The 2-0, and Caputo gets underneath this one and lifts it into right field. Farley underneath it makes the catch, and that will do it for the Raiders. They go in order in the first.
That'll do it from the top of the first.
And on to the bottom we go. Due up for the Cougars in the first, Irureta-Goyena, Cantu, and Canalicchio. Defensively for the Raiders, on the mound, number 11, Colin Correjo. Behind the plate, Xander Forcell. At first base, Nolan Harris. At second base, Rainer Heinrich. At third base, Blake Gonzalez. At short, Joe Sparshoe. In left, Caden Kaspar. In center, Landon Miller. And in right, Mikey Caputo.
Yeah, so a lot of the normal situational spots here for the defense for Rouse Raiders. Really no surprises here. Again, Oscar unfortunately being out, so we will see a lot more of Nolan at first base, which is great to have his bat, and that allows us to bring in a different designated hitter in Nathan Miller for this first game. So we'll see how that plays out as the game progresses.
A great atmosphere here tonight as both teams are loaded with fans in the stands.
Loaded with fans is no doubt. I mean, both sides, a lot of black and cardinal red for the Rouse faithful, and then the red and white for the New Braunfels Canyon.
Charlie and Sandra Rouse in the house. I saw Robert Martinez here in the house to watch his grandson.
And did see Miss Diaz.
Yes, I did.
In the house
Christina
here.
Diaz here.
And she's very close to where she's got to see a lot of ball played from Colby Diaz there at Texas State, right up 35.
I apologize for the net across the screen. That's where we've been relegated to setting up. Out here, there's not really a good place to set up, and this is kind of what we've had the past few years.
Now we do have, and we may play around with that if Saturday's game comes to be. I'll try to get here a little earlier. Maybe we can pull that net in towards the camera and maybe make that a little bit nicer for everybody at home.
Euro Reto Goyena makes his way to the plate for his first at bat of the night.
And they introduce him as Y-Man because Euro Reto Goyena is a very big mouthful.
It is.
I even said it wrong, I'm sure.
Curveball high and inside for ball one. Correjo with the windup. This pitch is cut on and hit up the middle. It's played by Sparshoe. It's short. The throw to first in time for out number one. 6-3 on the putout of Euro Reto Goyena. With Will Cantu coming to the plate.
And I'll tell you what, great communication there. Blake Gonzalez crashing on that and really normally be in that spot where he will take it. And Joe called him off right away because he was ready to just unload the cannon and get the speedy Y-Man running up first base line.
Cantu fouls this one off back to the backstop for strike one. Will Canalicchio on deck.
And these guys are wasting no time really going at these pitches here from Colin Correjo.
That pitch misses low for a ball, and that will even things up at one.
You know, Colin almost trying to use that aggressiveness to help him out there, a little low and away, seeing if he could get Cantu to chase.
1-1 pitch. This is hit out to right. This is going to drop in for a base hit. And that will bring up the first baseman, Will Canalicchio.
Yeah, just getting enough of bat on that was Cantu, able to just flare that over Rainer Heinrich and into shallow right field.
Throw over to first, not in time. That was a pretty good pickoff move from Correjo.
I'll tell you what, we've seen a lot of it this year. Let somebody get on against him, and he's quick to pick him off or get thrown out by Xander on a steal.
Correjo from the stretch. The first pitch to Canalicchio misses low for ball one.
Yeah, good job of Xander keeping that ball in front of him. We don't really need any early opportunities here for the Cougars.
Throw over to first, not in time, as Cantu dives back in safely.
Yeah, and everybody absolutely fired up. We've got sounds like kazoos or whatever those things are.
Well, vuvuzelas. That pitch inside. The throw down to second will not be in time, and Cantu picks up a stolen base.
And a little bit of a delayed steal there from Cantu that sort of took Xander off guard as he was a little late on the deliveries. Great throw on the wrong side of the bag. Maybe would have had an opportunity, but great steal there for Cantu.
2-0 the count to Canalicchio. Correjo checks Cantu at second. The pitch, that's low for ball 3. 3-0 the count.
Yeah, and Cantu being very aggressive on the base path. Almost got caught there in a pickle. Unfortunately, he was able to get back without drawing a throw.
The 3-0 pitch, that's in for a strike, a fastball down the middle. 3-1 the count to Canalicchio.
Yeah, we'll have to watch here how Colin responds, with this. A lot of crowd noise. You want your senior in a spot like this.
The 3-1, a breaking ball hit into right field. Cantu around third and hold up. And Correjo backs up Forcell behind the plate to keep it from going to the backstop, and Canalicchio advancing to second. That'll put runners on the corners.
Number 2, Sam Ortiz.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, with as crisply as that was hit, Cantu was looking to possibly round. He rounded hard, and great job from Mikey Caputo getting the ball in, and with the backstop help from Colin Correjo, it did keep Canalicchio from advancing to second, which is great to see.
Sam Ortiz will dig in for his first at bat of the night. Evan Janner on deck.
Yeah, and with one out, it keeps that double play ball alive on the infield, which is, again, a great defensive situation to be in here.
First pitch by Correjo in the dirt, down and away for ball 1.
And again, as is the normal MO for Colin, just wasting no time, getting the signs, checking the runners. And
that pitch in for a strike, throw down to second. Be cut off by Heinrich. And Canalicchio will pick up a stolen base as Heinrich a little reluctant to see if Cantu was going to head to home.
Yeah, he did a glance and just took a little bit too much of a glance, and Canalicchio was sort of caught in no man's land for a moment and was able to get in.
1-1 the count to Ortiz. Breaking ball misses low for ball 2.
Once again, one out here.
The 2-1 pitch, that's hit back up the middle. That's caught by Correjo, or played by Correjo.
Just back in.
Canalicchio just gets back in.
in.
The throw to first was in time, but they throw to second, and Canalicchio just, because he's kind of out in no man's land, almost a double play ball.
Well, he was expecting Cantu to break. Colin did a great job, as tall as he is, able to jump up and make a play on that bouncing ball over his head. He gave a great look back to Cantu, which Canalicchio didn't catch, and made the out at first. Canalicchio was running halfway there and realized Cantu's still on third.
That'll bring up Evan Janner, the left fielder. Elijah Farley on deck. First pitch hit into center field, and that will score Cantu. Canalicchio rounds third and will score, and nobody covered second base or first base.
And there was no discussion on the cut call. from the throw from Landon Miller, which was on the money, and I think had plenty enough of an opportunity to get the runner at home. So again, a couple of miscues here early in the game defensively, and two are able to score on that.
Let me tell you my ridiculous dreams. I want to rap.
Yeah, man, Landon Miller was no doubt coming home on that, as Canalicchio was not wasting any time rounding third. And the cut by Nolan Harris played, and unfortunately, as you said, Michael, nobody there covering at first because he had the runner rounding hard and was able to get back, and that was a low ball that got away from Xander Forcell, allowing the runner to advance to second.
The 1-0 to Farley. That's in for a strike, and that will even the count at 1. Jackson Kanzi on deck. Pitch offering gets the outside corner for strike 2. 1-2 the count to Farley.
Yeah, great pitch there from Colin. Farley trying to bait him into a balk or something as he's, dancing over on the base path.
1 on with 2 outs. And Farley in a 1-2 count. Correa will step off, and Janner will make his way back to second base. The 1-2 pitch, that's high and outside for ball 2, and that will even things up. The air has gotten still. We had a little bit of a breeze. It's a very humid.
Thick humidity.
Feel here at game time. So the 2-2 pitch, that's outside for ball 3. And Farley works it full. Forcell will call time and make his way out to the mound.
Yeah, quick little talk, and obviously so will Joe Sparshoe comes in as well, as there was a great opportunity for a pick play earlier with Janner on the base path, and unfortunately Colin didn't, and Joe Sparshoe were not on the same page there.
Umpire makes his way out to call him back, say, hey guys, that's enough, let's go.
Enough's enough.
Correjo from the stretch. The payoff pitch. Catches him looking for strike 3. And that will do it for the Cougars in the first. But they get 2 runs on 3 hits. They leave 1.
Rouse 0, Canyon 2.
On to the second we go. Due up for the Raiders in the second. Kaspar, Miller, and Gonzalez.
Yeah, not the start that Rouse would have liked, but to hold him at 2 is perfectly fine. And again, as I said, the 2 runs really are on great hits. No problems there, but what the plays were after is a little bit suspect as far as whether they should have allowed that second run or not. So
Bron Farr makes his way back out to the mound to pitch the second for the Cougars, and really being blown out again by the PA. It's just really, really loud.
I'll try to not have everybody at home getting blown out as well as I control the crowd mic. It's great to hear the crowd as big as they are here, and hopefully y'all can understand, knowing that you can't see them on the broadcast, but you can definitely hear them as they're nice and rowdy, clean and rowdy up to this point.
The bad part is we're both wearing headsets over both of our ears and still being blown out by the PA here.
Yeah, for sure. So
Up to bat, number
Caden
7,
Kaspar makes his way
Kaspar.
to the plate for his first at bat of the evening. Nathan Miller on deck. Colin Ott behind the plate, Bronfar on the mound. First pitch offering to Kaspar. He was still kind of working his way in the box and just takes a strike.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And he wasn't even ready for a pitch. The 0-1, that misses on the outside corner to even the count.
Oh, and immediately they were like, they wanted that strike call, but it was extremely high in the zone.
The 1-1 pitch, again, he goes back to that same location for ball 2. Two and one, the count to Kaspar. That pitch in for strike 2, a pitch down the middle.
Yeah, and love to see this bat get rolling again as it was earlier in the season.
The 2-2 pitch, that's high and outside for ball 3, and the count goes full.
Tell you what.
And one of those strikes, he wasn't even ready to take a pitch. So he just gave away a strike. The payoff pitch, this is hit out towards left center. Janner gets to it in time. Another deep fly ball out.
Yeah, sent that one for a ride, did Kaspar, and really Janner was having to really get on his horse to get back and, again, get in where he underneath that ball, but no end, no assist there as is the norm here at Cougar Field, so.
Nathan Miller will take for a strike. Wow. That one was over the left batter's box. Interesting.
A lot of movement on that one.
0-1, this was fouled off for strike 2.
Yeah, a lot of movement on that, and I guess maybe it caught a front corner of the plate while it was breaking. So
0-2, the count to Miller. Farr deals high and outside for ball 1.
I'll tell you what, Bronfar is another one. It's just really refreshing to see a lot of pitchers this year really working quickly.
1-2 pitch. Another over the top pitch misses low for ball 2, and that will even it up at 2. One out with nobody on here in the top of the second. Raiders trailing 2-0. And Miller will send this one into center field. Ureta Goyena underneath it and will make the catch, and that will do it.
Follows the out. Up to bat.
2 away for Blake Gonzalez. Blake Gonzalez has had a hot bat as of late, and good to see him get back in the lineup and do some work at the plate.
Right, and hit for himself. I mean, defensively, he's been solid.
He takes for a strike down the middle.
Yeah, he's been defensively solid here, filling in for Joe Sparshoe while he was nursing a back.
And he will send this one up the middle to second. It's played by Trip Villanueva, and that will be in time. That will go 4-3 on the put out, and the Raiders go in order for the second straight inning. After 1.5, it's 2-0 Canyon. Due up for the Cougars in the second, the bottom of the order, Jackson Kanzi, Colin Ott, and Trip Villanueva. That'll be your 7, 8, and 9 hitters. Colin Correjo makes his way back out to the mound. And actually, I'll get to hear how this young man's name is actually pronounced, so I'm not sure that I'm doing him justice.
I would say Kunze. Jackson Kunze.
Yeah.
Is what I would say.
We'll see.
K-U-E-N-Z-I.
I don't know if that's K-U, K-A, or...
It's K-U. Sorry,
K-U?
I tried to help you out there as much as I could, but K-U.
So then it may be Kenzie.
D-H.
Or Kunze, or
Right.
Coenzi. We'll see here in just a moment.
What do they call that? The phonetic pronunciation
Yes.
that they do in the dictionary, where they have the little lines and all. We need those on the cards from the coaches. I would say Kunze.
Well, we'll see here in just one moment.
Up to bat, number 17, Jackson Kinsey.
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 I called
Is it Kinsey?
He said Kinsey.
Okay.
All right, we got it now. Jackson Kinsey makes his way to the plate. And he will foul that one off for strike one.
And that's how you had pronounced his name in the lineup enunciations there at the beginning of the game. So,
Colin Ott on deck. The 0-1 pitch. This is fouled off for strike two.
and Colin getting ahead really quick on the leadoff batter here in the bottom of the second. It's good to see.
This series is a best of three series. That pitch sails high for ball one. So there will be a game two. That one will be at Rouse tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. And if necessary, a game three on Saturday would be back here.
Ooh.
That pitch just misses down and away for ball two. And I think even some Canyon fans were surprised that that was not a called strike.
Yeah, that looked like a better pitch than what Braun Farr had for strike against
Nathan Miller, right?
Nathan, yes, sir.
The 2-2 pitch, that's cut on and popped up. Playable. Rainer Heinrich will play it, and that will do it for Jackson Kinsey.
Yeah, no, he did a really good job of avoiding that tree that I heard one of the fans yell out that he, I guess, was out there in second base next to Rainer.
Colin Ott makes his way to the plate. Ott, the catcher for the Cougars. First pitch offering a breaking ball cut on and missed for strike one.
And again, these guys are swinging at almost every first pitch offering from Colin Correjo.
The 0-1 delivery. This is popped up, playable. Rainer Heinrich will get underneath it for out number two as Ott rolls just underneath it and pops it up. And that will bring up the second baseman, Trip Villanueva.
Yeah, you know, Rainer covering a lot of ground there on a really short flare that, you know, easily could have dropped.
The first pitch from Correjo, a breaking ball, misses inside for ball one.
Yeah, brushing Villanueva off the plate a little bit there.
Correjo winds and deals. He misses the outside corner. Wow, that was a nice-looking pitch for ball two.
Yeah, Xander doing a great job trying to sneak that one in, but ump wasn't having anything to do with that.
2-0 the count. That pitch right down the middle for strike one.
And that had a little sizzle on it, man. Even with the headsets on, I could hear the pop in that glove.
2-1 the count to Villanueva. The pitch, a breaking ball. This is fouled back out of play for strike two, and the count will even.
And into the waiting hands of Mr. Brian Sparshoe.
Brian Sparshoe, the Rouse Raider Booster Club president. Deuces wild to Villanueva. That pitch misses low for ball three, and the count goes full.
And that's one thing we haven't been able to really gauge here for the home plate umpire is that low to high strike zone. You know, that was a little low and called a ball.
The payoff pitch, this is fouled out of play, and the count will stay the same.
And little quick pause of game there as the ball pops off the fence in the shallow right field.
Again, for the playoffs, we do have four umpires on the field. The payoff pitch, a breaking ball. This is hit back up the middle. Sparshoe will play it. The throw to first in time, and the Cougars go in order in the second. After two complete, it's 2-0 Canyon.
Canyon 2, Rouse 0.
I think the PA guy likes saying that, emphasizing the zero.
Zero. Yes,
I think he does.
Yes, sir.
The fun of playoff baseball, you get your...
And being the home team.
It being the home team, yes.
You know, our boy Don Miller will have his opportunity tomorrow night
all in the name of sportsmanship.
Yes, sir.
Due up for the Raiders in the third, Harris, Correjo, and Sparshoe. That'll be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters for the Raiders.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a great game if we didn't have that type of sportsmanship. And, you know, again, it's a game, folks, and no need to get antsy or crazy or loud or, you know, obnoxious or anything like that. Let the boys play the game. Let their play speak for themselves. And here we go again with the crazy loud music, but there we go.
Bron Farr back out on the mound for the Cougars to pitch the third, as he's had a very effective outing so far, with the exception of Rainer Heinrich being the leadoff and getting the single, and then getting picked off, or not picked off, but caught stealing.
Caught stealing. Great throw, you know.
Harris will take for ball one.
And again, it was a good pickoff. Caught stealing, you know, good throw from the catcher.
A breaking ball. That was that 12-6 break.
Yep,
or strike.
Ended up being right down the pipe.
The pitch misses low as he goes back to the well one more time.
Exact same pitch. Unfortunately, didn't start that one out at nearly as high.
The 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on a pitch that was high and outside. For strike two, and now we'll even it up at 2.
Yeah, Nolan Harris, the Laterno commit.
The 2-2 pitch from Farr catches Harris looking for strike 3.
Following the strikeout.
You know, and you always wonder what's going on in the batter's mind there. I mean, that was a right down the middle fastball. No extra movement, no late movement, anything like that, and just frozen.
Farr will deal to Correjo, and Correjo will take for a ball.
So, again, another one of those, you know, a little high in the zone, but.
Again, he goes back to that 12-6, and this time locates it right in the middle for a strike, and that will even it up at 1.
That last pitch was sort of borderline as well. Called a ball.
The 1-2, or the 2-1, now with that high and outside ball. Correjo will foul this one off for strike 2. So what we're seeing so far is Raider bats are not taking Farr deep into counts.
No, not at all, not at all. Trying to be aggressive, trying to get on this pitcher quick. And
2-2 misses low and outside for ball 3.
Even the count up, and this is definitely a bat we'd love to see get rolling here in the playoffs with Colin Correjo up.
Correjo will hit this one towards second. Villanueva makes an outstanding play and will throw him out for out number 2.
Yeah, what a way to lay out.
Gosh, man, Villanueva is balling out there at second base. He's made 2 outstanding plays in that second base position, and his uniform is covered in dirt.
Covered in dirt, yeah. He laid out there stretching that entire 5'4" frame, it looks like, from here. He's a little guy, but.
Sparshoe will take for ball 1 on a pitch that looked really good. Maybe just a little bit shorter, a swing and a miss for strike 1. Maybe just a little bit shorter and didn't get the call, but, I mean, that was a beautiful pitch from Farr.
An almost identical pitch that Joe offers out there. And
he goes back to that 12-6 and has been effective at it. 1-2 the count. Nobody on with 2 outs for the Raiders. Rainer Heinrich on deck, the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and the Raiders go in order for the 3rd consecutive inning.
That strikeout will do it for the top of the 3rd. Your score is still 2-0.
Yeah.
And Farr perfect so far.
Braun giving that little pause, you know, just trying to throw the timing off of Joe Sparshoe. Not sure how effective it was or if it mattered or not, but Joe was a little late on the swing, and it was a great strike.
Due up for the Cougars in the top, or in the bottom of the 3rd, Ureta, Goyena, Cantu, and Canalicchio. Ureta, Goyena 0 for 1. He grounded to short his first time up.
Yeah, and I think that was on the second pitch. So, you know, again, the guy's being extremely aggressive. Second or third pitch, I believe. So they're not really seeing a lot either, but they're just trying to jump on anything that they see near the zone so that they don't get left to that breaking pitch that Colin throws so well. Don't leave it in the hands of the umpire, right? Get the bats rolling early, and, you know, Rouse trying to do the same thing. As a result, a very fast-moving game up to this point.
And the Flies have come out in force here.
Yes. Where's the wind to blow
evening,
these guys
right?
off,
Yes,
man?
They are all over the place.
Bugging me. I guess they realize I haven't showered this week yet or something. I don't know.
Do you smell? Do I offend? A little Ducky Dale from Pretty in Pink. Do I offend?
Do I offend?
Number 13, Isaac Wyman.
Irureta Goyena makes his way to the plate for his second at bat of the night. Cayman Cantu on deck.
And again, a name we've come very familiar with.
A breaking ball cut on and missed for strike one.
You know, not only have we seen them in 3 straight years here in the first round of the playoffs, but we've played them a couple of times throughout the last few years as well.
Pitch misses the outside corner for ball one.
In or actually in the Comal tournament, we tend to see them, not this year, but the past 2 years we have.
The 1-1 pitch, again, misses outside as he goes back to that same corner.
Well, again, very aggressive. First pitch looked like he was looking like he was going to swing the whole way, and now he's trying to settle in a little bit.
Correjo winds and deals. Misses the outside corner for ball 3 on a pitch that looked good from here.
Looked really good from here, and you know, you just ask for consistency.
3-1, and he gets rung up for a strike. Irureta Goyena thought that he had ball 4.
Well, he checked his swing. He offered at it, figured he checked his swing, dropped the bat, and was ready to run up. And it took a couple of calls, strikes from the home plate umpire to make him pause and turn around and stare at him like, what are you talking about?
Irureta Goyena calls time, and will step out, take a deep breath, and reset. Correjo toes in on the rubber. The payoff pitch. No pitch, and that was right down the middle.
So 2 back-to-back no pitches. He was barely even stepping in, and Collins ready to go in the lineup, or into the windup, excuse me.
The payoff pitch, a breaking ball. This is popped up, and Forcell attempts to make a play on it. Gonzalez will make it as he calls off Forcell. And Irureta Goyena will pop out.
Sorry, I hadn't reset the outs. That'll be the first out of the inning, and a couple of little conversations there as Irureta Goyena was talking Irureta Goyena.
Irureta Goyena.
Goyena, not Goyena.
Yeah,
okay.
Goyena.
Goyena.
He went and offered and gets called for a strike. And the Canyon crowd didn't like that call. 0-1, this is fouled back for strike 2. And
Man, I
Cantu
had that one.
in an 0-2 count. Cantu, 1 for 1. He singled to right his first time up and eventually came around and scored. Breaking ball high and outside for ball 1.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, the single was just on that dink that Mikey was running in on and just thought better of it, you know, than diving and letting it get past him.
Cantalicchio on deck. 1-2 the count to Cantu. This one fouled off, and the count will remain at 1-2.
Not only do we have the 4 umpires working the game here, we do have the full regiment of Rouse coaches here in the dugout for our squad.
1-2, he checked his swing and held up. Forcell didn't even ask for an appeal.
Wow, it didn't need to. It was a strike, but he's asking for the appeal now. And, of course, it's going to be a ball. But, again, it didn't even need that. It was a strike. But
2-2 the count to Cantu. The pitch.
And, again, Colin just does not know what he needs to do on that portion of the plate where we've already seen a couple of calls the other way over there. And, he's going to toe in and go right back after it again.
The payoff pitch. That's down the middle. Catches Cantu looking, and he knew it.
Strike number 5 for Cantu, but end result is all the same as he's makes his way back to the dugout. Disgusted with himself for not swinging at that one.
Will Canalicchio will make his way to the plate. He's 1 for 1. He singled to right his first time up, and he's that second run that came around to score.
Yes, on what was a great.
And he will get the outside corner for strike 1.
Sorry, it was a great throw from Landon Miller that potentially could have gotten him, but there was the cut in that inning that allowed him to score with no play at home.
0-1 the count to Canalicchio. Correjo will wind and deal. This one misses low down the middle for ball 1.
A lot of late movement on that. It looked really good. Probably had couldn't see how much break that had at the end, but a lot of movement.
The 1-1 pitch, that's high for ball 2.
Yeah, and even more folks coming in and saying hi to Mr. and Mrs. Rouse.
2-1 pitch misses low for ball 3, and this is where we were in the first at bat when he singled to right. He was in a 3-1 count.
Yeah, and again, knowing that we don't want to, granted, we have a base here free with nobody else on.
Sam Ortiz on deck. That pitch misses outside for ball 4. And Correjo gives up his first walk of the night.
That'll bring up number 2, Sam Ortiz.
Ortiz is 0 for 1. He grounded to the pitcher back in the first. Evan Janner on deck. Again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching Rouse Raider Playoff Baseball here on SHN Sports. I'm Michael Francis alongside Jonathan Kaspar. Let us know where you're listening from and give us a shout out for your favorite player. If you're a Canyon fan, do that as well. This pitch is hit back up the middle, and Landon Miller able to get to it, and that'll be a line drive to center.
Great job for Landon Miller being right on the money there, just knowing it was a shallow ball. He was diving hard on it and was able to get underneath it without really having to make any crazy effort.
The Cougars get no runs on no hits. They left one on, and after 3 complete, it's 2-0 Canyon.
And we do have a quick update here from the Liberty Hill game. They are down 4-0 in the second. Playing against Bernie Champion.
Due up for the Raiders. Back to the top of the order, Heinrich, Miller, and Caputo.
Yeah, and second time through to see Braun and know what he's got to offer. He really doesn't hide that breaking pitch well as he's changing his arm slot with that big 12-6. He really comes over the top, on that pitch versus, not quite a 3/4 slot for the fastball.
Not an overpowering fastball, but a lot of movement on his ball where
yes.
He gets the kids to roll over on it and pop it up for easy, playable fly ball outs.
Exactly. And, it's something that you see great hitters will adjust. Great hitters will talk to each other. What do they see? What have they noticed? I know Caden was watching film from their games as much as they have from the season to help prepare for this game.
310 down the right field line, 325 down the left field line, 350 to the right power alley, 355 to the left power alley, and 365 to straightaway center. That pitch misses for ball 1.
And once again, he's just going straight after these back-to-back breaking pitches that have missed low.
2-0 the count to Heinrich. Landon Miller on deck. The pitch misses high for ball 3. Rainer Heinrich, the only Raider base runner of the afternoon or the evening, caught stealing. That pitch down the middle for strike 1.
Yeah, and taken all the way was Rainer with a 3-0 count on him, so he'll look to adjust here and drive this one.
3-1 pitch down the middle for strike 2.
Or not.
Farr works it back full. The payoff pitch. This is popped up and hit out toward left field. Evan Janner underneath it. He'll make the catch to retire Heinrich for the first out.
And similar to the ball hit by Landon Miller in the first, that was extremely high, towering fly ball that Janner was really able to just camp out it without having to fight any kind of wind up there, even though we do see the flag moving a bit there in left field.
First pitch offering to Landon Miller misses high for ball 1. One-oh pitch. This is lined into left for a base knock.
And I'll tell you what, Landon Miller is absolutely so strong, being able to pick that ball from really up above his feet and outside and drive that extremely hard through that 5-6 hole into left field. So shows a lot of bat speed and a lot of power on that swing.
Mikey Caputo will make his way to the plate. He's 0 for 1. He flew out to right his first time up. Caden Kaspar on deck. First pitch offering a breaking ball, that 12-6 that he's done so well with, in for a strike.
Yeah, getting ahead of the batter early.
He goes right. Wow. Oh, my gosh. He didn't call that?
He did not call that, and that was extremely surprising because that was
a pitch. That was a beautiful pitch.
It was only about 2 inches higher than the last pitch. And
the 1-1. That'll go to the backstop, and Landon Miller will trot down to second base. And it was like he wasn't really paying attention and not taking off once it got past Ott to the backstop.
He moved in the ball actually with where he was positioned. Umpire and catcher were in the way. He couldn't see the ball, how far it got away, and just think being smart, and he saw it go up the backstop and ran.
2-1. This is hit out to left. And
drop.
It's off the glove of Janner. Landon Miller will round third. He is headed home and will score.
Great job by hitting by Mikey Caputo, who easily gets into second with a stand-up double and almost got caught.
That will be a single with an advance
Kaspar.
on the throw that was misplayed by the shortstop.
Yes. Yeah, he did boot the ball a little bit on the throw coming in, trying to play the cut as Landon was sort of stuck in no man's land for a minute, and he's got great speed to be able to turn on the jets and get home.
Again, he goes back to the 12-6, and that goes high, and it's called for a balk. And Caputo will move down to third.
Oh, wow. Didn't come set, I would assume, would be the call on that. Unfortunately, I didn't really get a good look at him.
1-0 the count to Kaspar. Pitch outside for ball 2.
Yeah, you definitely have a better line on that pitch than I did. I couldn't tell how far outside that was. It looked pretty close.
Scoreboard has a 3-1 count. I have a 2-0. Far from the stretch. And Kaspar will foul that one off for strike 1.
It's almost like they gave him an extra ball for the balk, but the balk was called in concession with the throw that was a ball. So
right. So 2-1 the count to Kaspar.
Yeah, and Krempine looked in and I don't know if he's having a discussion.
The umpire's calling 2-2.
It's not 2-2, it's 2-1.
Well, umpire's showing 2-2. He's just flashed the signs.
And even Krempine's asking Kaspar. Kaspar's like, hey, buddy, I haven't taken 4 pitches. He's only taken 3 pitches.
That one is fouled off, and now it's 2-2.
Now, well, he's sort of against the ropes there at the mercy of the 2-2 pitch where he is shortening up and trying to catch something to get it in play and bring in that extra run, tie the game up.
Tying run just 90 feet away. 1 on with 1 out, and Kaspar will hit this one out to deep center. Udaret will
oh, yeah, baby!
And Caputo will come in to score.
Off
and
to the
Kaspar
races.
rounds second and into third with a double.
Let's wake up Rouse Raiders. What an absolute nuke off the fence, center field. Tell you what, his first at bat, he didn't miss by much out to left field, and that one he put a charge into that as he saw the numbers from Y-Man out there in center field.
If that would have been to left or right field, that would have been over the fence. As that one hopped the 365 center field fence.
Oh, yeah, and it was absolutely hammered, and Coach has his feelings. Caden has been the number 2 guy all season long in the batting lineup, and he moves him to the 4 spot today. Maybe had a feeling, you know?
Maybe. I spoke to him before the game, and he said he had a good feeling about this game tonight.
Yeah.
And what a change of momentum here, which can boost your pitcher coming back out, right?
No doubt, obviously, with him really just starting to struggle a few calls that he was not getting, you know, Colin getting a little bit perturbed.
And hitting is infectious.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. The ball becomes the size of a soccer ball, you know, up there to the eyes of the hitters whenever your boys in front of you are driving the ball for doubles and singles and triples, and it's a great place to be in here as a very hot hitter comes up with Nathan Miller.
Far from the stretch. First pitch. Misses inside with that 12-6.
Tell you what, there's so much break in that pitch. Unbelievable. It looked like it was so high, and it actually had an opportunity there.
The 1-0. That's down the middle for a strike. And that will even things up.
All right. Boys, rooting him on.
The 1-1, a swing and a miss on a pitch that was low for strike 2, and Miller in a 1-2 count.
And
Blake Gonzalez
I'd
on
love
deck.
want to have those meters that actually gives me spin rate, because that was so tight and spinning. The spin rate on that had to be off the charts.
1-2 the count to Miller. Farr will deal. Again, he goes back to that 12-6, just misses high for ball 2.
Hey, if it's working for you.
Miller 0 for 1. He flew out to center his first time up.
And a fly out to center would be great here.
He will chop this one down to first. Canalicchio will step on the bag, but the Raiders will take the lead on the RBI by Nathan Miller.
You know, and almost anybody else over there at third base would have thought twice about coming home. You know, on that ball with it being literally right on the bag for Canalicchio, who could have easily touched and turn and throw home, but it didn't even draw a throw.
That'll go 3-U on the putout of Miller, as Gonzalez will take for a strike. That pitch misses low for ball 1.
Okay, so again, back to that sort of quadrant of the plate, you know, is questionable on strikes or none.
Gonzalez will bunt this one foul for strike 2.
You know, and I know I've talked about this throughout the season, you know, no runners on. Blake's got good speed. Not elite speed, but good speed, and he's watching the third baseman, who has proceeded to go back to between bag and outfield grass.
1-2, this is line to third, and Cantu will make the catch, and that will do it for the Raiders in the third, but they get 3 runs on 3 hits. They leave them clear, and after 2.5, or 3.5, it's 3-2 Rouse.
Yeah, and a great inning there. From the top of the lineup that's been doing it all year long for Rouse and really showing up here big in this first game of the series.
Due up for the Cougars in the fourth. Janner, Farley, and Kinsey. Colin Correjo makes his way out to the mound to pitch the fourth for the Raiders. So far, the cloud's not looking too terribly threatening, so hopefully we'll be able to get this whole thing in tonight.
Tell you what,
that's somebody hitting the stands. They're throwing a football back here, so they're hitting the stands.
Okay,
it sounds like thunder,
sounded
right?
like thunder, right? I mean, I heard what sounded like thunder, and you just said, man, it's holding off. And I'm like, wait a second. I'm hearing something.
Sarah saying, Yahoo, way to go, Raiders. Keep it going. Veronica Arnold checking in. Woohoo, go Raiders.
Keep them coming, folks. Keep them coming. You know, they can't hear you or see the responses, but they feel the good vibes coming from everybody at home watching. So,
absolutely.
So keep it coming, man.
Ronnie, we miss
love
you. We miss you here with Christina and Momo. They're here. I hugged Momo a while ago before the game. Yay! Always good to see her. Janner will stand in. He is 0 for 1. He singled. I'm sorry. I was looking at Farley. He's 1 for 1. He singled to right his first time up. He takes for a ball. The 1-0 pitch from Correjo is swung on and missed for strike one, and that will even the count.
Yeah, and again, big cut there from Janner, who had a great hit that scored the 2 runs.
Pitch misses low and inside for ball 2.
You know, and that was on first pitch. So really, he hadn't seen much from Colin as he was offering and drove that first one right up the middle.
Hoping to hear from Grandma and Grandpa Shoddy here in a little while. 2-1, he lays off for ball 2, and that will even things up.
Tell you what, I did get to see their pictures during the video of our banquet last night. I saw Grandma and Grandpa Shoddy. So
yeah, did you? 3-1 the count. This one is hit deep to center field, and that's over the gloves of Landon Miller. And Janner will come into third with,
oh, no, come on.
With a triple.
Yeah, just an extremely high towering ball that he got a lot of as well. And, you know,
and had that been to left or right, that would have been out.
Easily. Landon was just running as hard as he could to get back there, and unfortunately tried to make the over-the-shoulder catch, and it bounced off of his glove, but you can't really rule that an error on that kind of a hit with him having to retreat as much as he did. So
no, it's a high fly ball. I didn't give Udoretta Goyena an error either.
Right.
On that one. And Coach Harris will call time. He's going to go out and talk to Correjo.
And, of course, an immediate jeopardy play there as they have a quick powwow to the Rouse Raiders on the bump.
Elijah Farley will come to the plate. He's 0 for 1. He was caught looking at his first bat, his first plate appearance.
You know, and I could think that was probably a quick discussion there. And in the same opportunity, Crimpini able to go out and sort of talk to his outfielders a little bit. And you have to just settle Colin in there, tell him to go and do what he does best.
Farley will foul this one off for a strike.
You know, which is go at these guys, right? Don't worry about the guy at third. Go at the batters.
Farley worked into a full count his first time. Pitch misses outside for ball 1.
And Colin Corsley asking real quick, hey, was that down? And he goes, oh, yeah. He's all right. Thank you.
The 1-1 pitch that just misses inside. Nice breaking action for ball 2. And just he's really reluctant to give that inside corner.
Right.
On the left side of the plate, or the right side of the plate for him. But he gets that outside corner for strike 2.
Which is the same pitch that I believe we got Farley on his first at bat.
2-2 the count to Farley. Janner standing 90 feet away, the tying run with no outs.
Farley getting a piece of that one, driving it foul. As the umpires had to ask 2 times now for balls, as many fouls as we've seen going out there. Again, a lot of action here, a lot of swings from both sides.
With 2-2, this is lined into right. This will score Janner, and that'll be an RBI single for Farley.
Yeah, back-to-back hits here, so
Number 17, Jackson.
allowing the game to be tied. And
Jackson Kinsey will come to the plate. He's 0 for 1. He popped up to second. His first time up. 1 on with no outs. A throw over to first will not be in time as Farley gets back in. Colin Ott on deck. Whew. Gonzalez playing up. He bunts this one foul for strike 1.
little teamwork action there, getting the balls over here to home plate ump.
0-1 the count to Kinsey. Correjo from the stretch. The throw over to first, not in time as Farley gets back in safely. This game tied at 3.
And again, a great snap throw from Colin Correjo trying to get Farley over there leaning, but he's back in safe.
That pitch misses low for a ball. And the count evens up at 1.
And looks to lay down a bunt.
The 1-1 pitch. Wow. He is just reluctant to give that outside corner.
Yeah, that
when
one.
It's to his right.
Yeah, that one broke in well, but it was unfortunately was a bit outside. So again, we have seen that pitch called a couple of times though already.
The 2-1. This is popped up and hit out towards center field. Landon Miller will camp under. He falls down, but he made the catch. It looked like he might have stepped in a hole or something out there.
Yeah, he's checking himself. A little brush of the grass. I think that was more of a slip where he was trying to set his foot, not understanding that Farley really had gone 3/4 of the way up the line and had no chance of tagging up on that.
Colin Ott will come to the plate. He's 0 for 1. He also popped up to second base. Grandma and Grandpa Shoddy checking in. Awesome. Aunt Nancy watching from Michigan. Go Joe and go Raiders.
Man, that looked great.
That pitch misses low for a ball. Ott was in an 0-1 count when he popped up to second base.
Yeah, another really high fly ball to
Farley sticking close to first. He's a little reluctant to extend his lead, and Correjo will step off as Ott calls time.
Yeah, one of the few times you see just a lengthy exchange there between Forcell and
Farley takes off to second. The throw down will not be in time as Farley will pick up a stolen base.
Yeah, and he had a great jump, did Farley, on that, and really, even a great throw from Xander was not going to have any opportunity to get him. Good speed there, and again, a great jump. But that was a strike call, so that's good.
1-1 count to Colin Ott. Runner in scoring position. With one.
That in front of him there and keep Farley at second.
Correjo will spin off and look to run her back to second.
Long fly balls here in this inning.
So it's looking like we got some technical difficulties. I'm seeing the broadcast stall a couple of times. We do apologize for that. We have an excellent connection out here, so I'm not sure why it's doing that. In fact, it's the best connection that we've had this season. I
Very
already
nice.
did the speed test on it. Villanueva waiting for his first pitch. It's popped up. Let us know if y'all are seeing it as well, that we're having some lag.
They're putting jammers in. They didn't like that call when we tied the game up, and putting signal jammers in the air there.
Due up for the Raiders in the fifth. Harris, Correjo, and Sparshoe. Braun Farr back out on the mound to pitch the fifth for the Cougars. Had a shaky fourth, and where he had a perfect game, or not necessarily a perfect game, because Rainer Heinrich had the single in the first, so there was no perfect game going.
With the great signal that we do have, so
Harris will ground this one to short for out number one.
That'll bring up number 11, Colin Correjo.
Colin Correjo will come to the plate for the second time tonight. He's grounded to second his first time up.
and no better time than the present to wake up the bats and wake up the Rouse guys in the dugout as he comes back flexing. Love to see that. Absolutely
And we'll bring
drove
up
that ball.
Joe Sparshoe.
And Dawson Snow did come in to run for Colin. So Dawson Snow, number 21, is in at courtesy runner.
1-0 the count to Sparshoe. Pitch. This is popped up and hit into foul territory, but Canalicchio able to get to it to retire Sparshoe. So it's actually connected us to a newer server now, so hopefully those latency issues will go away. Rainer Henrik.
We have Rainer Henrik up.
Rainer Henrik up. So hopefully our lag issues have been taken care of now. Heinrich 1 for 2. That pitch, that 12-6, he's working for him again and gets in for a strike. He has singled to left and flown out to left. 0-1 the count to Henrik. Henrik will take for a ball. I got to stop that.
You'll start doing that.
I'll start that up.
It's Rainer Henrik. Yeah, Rainer being very respectful of that call as he turned to just ask the home plate umpire, was that not a little low? He goes, no, it caught a good amount of the strike zone, so. And we got an increase there of the download speed. So we'll see if the upload does look like it's already increased quite a bit.
That's outstanding. I mean, we're at 15 megabits per second on the upload, so extremely hot. So I think it may be because the Wi-Fi was sitting on top of that battery pack and just got overheated.
What a rookie
our apologies,
move.
folks.
What a
rookie
move
by our producer engineer. Oh, wait a minute. I can't cast blame on you, Bubba. Colin Correjo back out to pitch the fifth for the Raiders. Due up for the Cougars in their half of the fifth. Back to the top of the order we go. Ureta, Cantu, and Canalicchio.
Yeah, and being very consistent here, as we have already seen our top of the lineup come through for their third time, followed right in order, same inning, by the top of their lineup. So again, really fast-moving game here, already in the fifth inning, and we are only an hour and 17 minutes into the game, as I believe we did start pretty much right at 7.
Ureta is 0 for 2. He is grounded to short and popped up to third. And he will swing and miss on an outside pitch from Colin Correjo.
You know, and again, Colin going right after the batter here and blowing it by him.
That pitch misses high for ball one, and that will even things up.
As he keeps knocking the dust out of Xander's glove with those fastballs.
1-1 the count. This one is cut on and hit out toward right center, and Landon Miller is not going to be able to get to it as it one-hops the fence, and Ureta with a stand-up double.
Following the leadoff double, that'll bring up to the plate. Number 30 came in, Cantu.
You know, and again, just driving these balls and really seemingly hitting the exact same spot almost every time. About halfway between the 350 mark and the 365 mark of center. So left center and center field. And, you know, Landon Miller doing everything he can to get back on those balls. That one actually bounced off the fence and ended up being played by Mikey Caputo, who was there to help cover in that situation. So a really good job for him to hold him to a double.
Cantu 1 for 2. He is singled to right and struck out. 1 on with no outs here in the bottom of the fifth. Correjo will spin off and throw it into center field. And it gets by Landon Miller, and Ureta will hold up at third. He rounded to come home and probably would have been safe had he come in.
Easily safe, and I don't know if that was, and the coach is jumping on his boys, because I think there was too much chatter from them not allowing Isaac to understand what he needed to do there.
Cantu still waiting for his first pitch. And he will foul this one off for strike one.
Yeah, Isaac should have had no problem at all scoring there, as he had rounded, as you said, rounded third pretty hard, and coach held him up. I guess he didn't even understand where the ball was.
And that will hit him to put runners on the corners.
That'll bring up number 22, Will Canalicchio.
Canalicchio is 1 for 1. He has singled to right and walked. And Coach Crimpine is going to make his way out, and I would not be surprised to see Trey Schluter in tow.
Well, and again, do you think Trey Schluter, who goes game 2? You know, so you don't necessarily want to utilize Trey.
Where I'm hearing some rumblings about the possibility
Understood.
of
Yep. Yes, sir. I know
2.
exactly where you're going there with game 2, but
can't confirm anything as of yet, so I will not say.
yeah, and I know there's definitely some arms getting warm in the bullpen, but this is more of a quick little reset for Colin. You know, seeing where he's at, his mindset, talking to the guys, what have you seen? Probably getting some input from Xander, and honestly, I haven't seen anything that would indicate a need to pull him in this game. You know, as Colin does stay in. But I'm sure the arms are continuing to get warmed up. I do believe I saw Gavin Silva in there warming up, but that's the only thing I could see through the gate as it had opened.
Canalicchio stands in. And he will foul this one off for a strike.
Yeah, Will Canlicchio, the first baseman, and definitely has that stature. Very tall kid here, probably standing 6'3", 6'4", I would imagine.
Runners on the corners with no outs here in the bottom of the fifth.
Very similar to the guy he's facing right now in Colin Correjo, both lefties.
Correjo comes set. He will step off and look Ureta back to third, and Yo-Yo looking Cantu back to first.
And the cowbells have come out.
The 0-1, that's a pitch down the middle for a strike, and that will take it to a 2-strike count.
Great pitch. Get the out here. Have the double play ball alive. This is a great spot to be in here for Colin, and I know he wouldn't want to be any place else than right here and right now.
That is chopped on and hit back up towards first. Correjo will throw to first and get the out at first, but Ureta will score.
Yeah, and Will doing a really good job there of stopping and not allowing the easy tag on him and keeping the runner from scoring.
And that will bring up Sam Ortiz. He's 0 for 2. He is grounded back to the pitcher and is lined out to center. Ortiz will call time and reset. Evan Janner on deck.
We're starting to get to that time of night where you really got to pay attention to those fly balls. The balls can absolutely disappear in the night sky. Not quite dusk, not dark enough, and the lights can
hinder it. This is hit
it.
out towards center field. Landon Miller tracks it, will make the catch.
Dropped it on transition, folks. He dropped it on transition. No,
he
dropped it on transition.
He did. So
he did. Yeah, he went to transition knowing that Cantu had taken a big jump off a second, and I think Landon saw that and was really trying to get it into his hand quick to make the throw to third and dropped it in the transfer. So no harm, no foul.
2 for 2. He has singled to right and tripled to center.
And he's getting the free base, rightfully so, off of that moonshot that he sent.
Following the intentional walk, that'll bring up number 18, Elijah Farley.
Yeah, great judgment call there from Coach Crimpine, and now you have a play at any base, third, second, or first in the infield. So
Farley is 1 for 2. He has struck out looking and singled to right. He'll swing and a miss for strike one.
Farley really taking a hack at that one. Bringing the breeze all himself with that.
Well, we could use some.
Yeah,
drive away
sure.
these flies, for sure. Correjo from the stretch. He checks Cantu at second. And again, the batter will call time, and the umpire has let him do that and go through his pitches, and that's probably what he should do, right? And not
you don't ever want to
stop
pause
on the throw
yeah,
and pause.
No, don't ever pause. That can easily tug on a tendon, ligament, muscle strain. You don't want that. You just always finish, especially when you're in the windup. Go ahead and finish.
0-1, the count to Farley. That pitch misses outside for ball one.
Yeah. Yeah, definite outside pitch, and that's been pretty consistent. Again, whether it be a lefty or a righty, in the batter's box, the outside pitch is just really hard to come by.
1-1 the count. Runners at first and second with 2 outs, and Farley will call time again. And to keep in mind, the umpire does not have to allow them to call time.
Not at all.
Swing and a miss on a fastball down the middle for strike 2.
Not at all. And Farley understands the.
And we've seen it where umpires have refused to give the timeout call.
And it go against the batter because they are just expecting it as opposed to paying attention to what the umpire is doing and allowing or not allowing.
1-2 the count. Forsell sets up on the outside corner. And that'll miss for ball 2.
You're trying to induce a swing there. Great idea and, an opportunity there to.
That great idea sounds like that Little League dad.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Hey.
Deuce is wild for Farley.
We were all there at one
2
point
balls,
or another.
2 strikes, 2 outs, and 2 on. The 2-2 pitch, this is fouled off. And Farley stays alive.
Absolute Deuce is wild here with 2-2, 2-2, and 2.
And that will miss for ball 3, and Farley works the count full.
Janner almost hurting himself trying to get back to first there as he was a good ways down towards second base.
Kinsey on deck. The payoff pitch, this is fouled off, and Farley spoils an excellent pitch.
Great pitch
from Colin
there.
Correjo.
Yeah, great pitch there from Colin, really going hard at him, seeing that he's missed on that same pitch for the other 2 strikes in this at-bat, and really just trying to go at him and blow one past him.
Payoff pitch. Correjo comes set. And they're running a swing and a miss for strike 3, and that will do it for Farley. And the Raiders get out of the inning. 1 run on 2 hits. They leave 2. And on to the 6th we go. Raiders trailing 4-3.
Yeah, and just Cedar Park last week on Tuesday for that game 1 of the final week, and did see him get yanked after, I believe, 1/3 of an inning as everybody was absolutely tattooing anything that he had to offer, and they put up 8 runs in the first inning.
Bronfire back out to pitch the 6th for the Cougars. Due up for the Raiders in the 6th. Landon Miller, Caputo, and Kaspar. And we're ready to get underway. Farr winds and deals, and this one's fouled off for strike 1.
And again, Landon, extremely aggressive batter here, and trying to get all over that first pitch. He's been very, very good at really driving the ball to left field, going with his power.
The 0-1 pitch, and wow, he skyrockets this one foul.
Off
did that hit the football bleachers?
No,
or was that the batting cages?
It hit the top of the batting. They have covered batting cages here, and it hit off the top. But tell you what, last year I did see Rayner actually hit one off the bleachers.
The football field just adjacent to the stands. He goes with that 12-6 and doesn't quite get the top part of the strike zone.
No, he was trying every bit of it, though he could.
1-2.
That one was.
Wow, oh my gosh. Woo, man alive. I can't believe he didn't call that.
That was close. We're all like, wow. And Landon leaving that up to the ump.
The 2-2, he fouls this one off. He just gets a piece of it. Whew, that was.
I tell you, you just don't want to do that as a batter.
Right? You don't want to sit there and look at that go by when it's that close.
No.
He's got to be swinging the bat.
Do not give him that opportunity to ring you up. Umpires some thrive on that and really look forward to that. And
a 2-2, and this one is hit deep to left. It could be over the fence, and it's gone.
Gone. One
a home
swing,
run
tie
for
ball
Landon
game.
Miller over the left field fence.
And that is the Landon Miller that we have been missing here lately. Absolutely crushing the ball. That almost barely peaked as it got out of here in an absolute rush. Probably a good 102, 104 off the bat.
And amazing what was probably a strikeout gets extended, and he hits it over the fence.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you know, it's a crazy game. Baseball is a crazy game.
We're all tied up for Mikey Caputo. He takes for strike one.
And Braun Farr didn't waste any time at all of brushing that off and going straight at Mikey for back-to-back strikes.
And Caputo quickly in an 0-2 count.
Yeah, and
Caden Kaspar on deck.
Braun Farr's fired up now.
The 0-2. Caputo fouls this one off as a defensive move and spoils a great pitch.
Yes, he did.
I know we say that often, but you got to be really impressed with a batter that is up there battling, and they get a pitch on the outside corner that they're able to spoil. And Caputo hits this one deep to left. This one is over. No! Gosh, I got a little jicky with it because I thought he was going to hit off the scoreboard.
I'll tell you.
Janner makes the catch.
Janner,
that was a deep fly ball.
He sold it for a little bit and then slowed down and realized he was on that ball. But, yeah, I mean, absolute nukes, both of those. And Mikey did not miss that one by much.
Not by much. My gosh. He put some power behind that one. Caden Kaspar will come to the plate. Kaspar's 1 for 2. He has a triple, and he's flown out to left. And he will foul this one off, and it will fall harmlessly foul for strike one.
Yeah, and really trying to paint that line, third base line on that one. Unfortunately, just getting a hair underneath it. And
Farr winds and deals. That's high for ball two. Or ball one. Leaving it up. Excuse me, I'm getting a little excited here. Maybe I'm doing a little Mike Stradamus. The 1-1 pitch. Gets the outside corner for strike two call. The 1-2 pitch. That's low and fouled off. And Kaspar doing what he has to do to keep the at-bat going.
Yeah, you know, again, that's what great hitters do, right? Stay alive.
The great Mr. Jonathan Wilson doing some filming here. The 1-2, that's high and outside for ball two. Wearing his Longhorn burnt orange. Hook 'em. This is hit back up the middle. That is played by the shortstop. The throw will be in time. Sam Ortiz makes the play for out number 2. That will bring up Oscar Salazar.
Interesting.
Salazar comes in as the designated hitter for Nathan Miller.
Nathan Miller.
I don't know, can you sub a designated hitter? Or will Forcell have to bat after this?
I think that is the correct call.
Okay, so now I will tell you this, is that Coach was telling me Salazar was hitting at BP and was hitting the scoreboard. Hit 2 at the scoreboard.
No doubt. No doubt.
But BP
again,
and live pitching are two different things.
Very much so. You know, as much as Crimbine and Harris will absolutely try to burn these guys in BP.
This is a stick that the Raiders have desperately been missing.
Yes, no doubt. I mean, unfortunately not having him.
And Salazar will take for ball one. Pitch in for a strike.
Yeah, he had a collision in the first game Tuesday against Cedar Park that kept him out of the
1-1 pitch. That's wow. It misses.
I don't know again how.
Looks good. I don't know how, but we've seen it go both ways on pitchers.
He makes up for it there. Again, that was that outside pitch that he really hasn't been calling all night and called that one a strike.
2-2 the count to Salazar, and Salazar will foul this one off.
Not quite suns out, guns out tonight, but the way he's been hitting, that was one discussion, is anytime he comes up to bat, he better pull that sleeve up.
Far winds and deals. This one's hit foul, and it's a long fly ball foul down the right field line. And umpire requesting more baseballs. We've had more balls fly out of this park this evening.
Yeah,
foul than
absolutely crazy. And I don't know how many people are actually making it out for those really long ones that have been hit.
That 12-6 breaking ball catches Salazar looking for out number 3. Raiders get 1 run on 1 hit, a home run by Landon Miller to tie this game up. And on to the bottom we go. And Colin Correjo making his way back out to pitch the 6th. Due up for the Cougars in the 6th, Kinsey, Ott, and Villanueva. That's your 7, 8, and 9 hitters.
Yeah, and again, just getting quick updates here.
And each one of them are 0 for 2.
New Liberty Hill is down 6-3 in the 5th. As it's been just a back and forth, they were able to climb within 1 of that lead and gave up a 2 RBI pitch hit double, to Bernie Champion. I'll see if I can't do a job here and get a few more on the Cedar Park side. No pitch count.
Colin Correjo at 92 pitches. So he's got 18 in the tank. Working his way through to make sure they're all on the same page.
Yeah, no doubt. He's done a really good job.
Kinsey will foul this one off for strike 1. Kinsey 0 for 2. He has popped up to second and flown out to center.
And has been the consistent part all night. These guys trying to jump all over first pitch.
He gets the outside corner for strike 2.
And I think the wonderful thing, Colin Correjo pitching as well as he does, is a UTSA commit for outfield.
The 0-2, that's down the middle. He catches him looking for strike 3 call.
Which is always good to see him have this success at such a high level here in high school against great competition. His size, his frame, I would not doubt for a moment that a pitching coach gets a hold of him at UTSA and converts him.
Breaking ball in for strike 1.
And he's telling Coach he wants to finish this game. He is being as efficient as possible here in the 6th.
Fastball, this is hit back up the middle. Sparshu able to play it. The throw to first in time for out number 2. 6-3 on the putout of Colin Ott, and that will bring up Trip Villanueva. Villanueva 0 for 2. He's grounded to short and popped up to second.
Colin catching his breath. I love watching that. He is absolutely fired up.
The adrenaline is flowing. First pitch offering to Villanueva down the middle for a strike. Villanueva checks his swing, but will get rung up. The 0-1, a breaking ball inside for ball 1.
You know, and again, very similar at last at bat, you know, getting that inside pitch against Villanueva that just doesn't break as much. Littler statured guy here, the second baseman.
The 1-1 pitch. This is hit out to right. Mikey Caputo underneath it, and that will do it for Correjo in the 6th. They go in order.
And I'm thinking I saw 7 pitches or 8.
Well, hold on. I'll tell you here in just one moment.
That does it for the 6th inning.
And again, just going right after these guys.
They go in order, a strikeout, a ground out, and a fly out. 3 pitches to the first batter, 2 pitches to the second batter, 3 pitches to the third batter.
8 pitch inning.
8 pitch inning. He's at 100 pitches.
He's like, Coach, I got you. I want a complete game right here. Showing everybody exactly what he's made of.
Braun Farr back out to pitch the 7th.
Yeah, and looking here.
Due up for the Raiders, Gonzalez, Harris, and Correjo.
And I am not seeing any defensive changes on the part of New Braunfels here in the top of the 7th. And again, tied ball game, new game. It's a 1-inning game. And right away, we're looking to make a statement here of the Rouse Raiders with the sticks and give Colin that opportunity to have that complete game. Playoff win, which those pitchers love so much.
Blake Gonzalez will make his way to the plate. Gonzalez is 0 for 2. He is grounded to second and lined to third. Nolan Harris on deck. First pitch offering to Gonzalez in for a strike, that 12-6.
It's his bread and butter.
That he just keeps going back to. And having success. This is chopped up the middle. Villanueva plays it. The throw to first in time. And that will do it, as Villanueva has been solid in that
Nolan Harris.
Yeah, I mean, he is
that
not.
second base spot all night long.
He's not fumbled the ball once. It's been very solid over there. And Nolan.
First pitch to Harris for ball 1.
12-6 that forgot the 6 part.
The 1-0 delivery, swing and a miss for strike 1, and that will even it up.
Yeah, and that was his pitch right there for Nolan inside, really looking to tag that one.
The 1-1, that's fouled off for strike 2. And Harris not afraid to go right at him.
Yeah, Harris, again, another big bat here.
He's 0 for 2. He's swing and a miss for strike 3, and that will do it.
These guys are absolutely getting stronger as the game goes on.
2 away for Colin Correjo. And that's played by Cantalicchio. The throw to Farr in time, and the Raiders go in order in the 7th. That'll go 3-1 on the putout of Correjo. Raiders get no runs as they retire in order.
You know,
and you got to look that the Raiders have to do the same.
And with the 8-pitch inning that Colin just had, Braun Farr says, hold my Coke.
Gavin Silva will come on in relief of Colin Correjo.
Yeah, he says, hold my Coke and watch this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those know what I'm talking about.
We got a tie ball game going into the bottom of the 7th. Gavin Silva comes on in relief of Colin Correjo, who goes 6 complete.
Gavin, one of our juniors who's been a little limited earlier in the season, not really getting a lot of opportunity on the mound, but definitely getting a great opportunity here to showcase his talents as a pitcher. We'll get to see a lot of him next year in the infield and pitching for his senior year for Rouse. So really looking forward to that. And we're graduating 12, and then we have another 9 juniors right behind that. So another high upperclassmen count for Rouse next year.
Due up in the 7th. Back to the top of the order. Urareta, Goyena, Cantu, and Canalicchio. And if you're a Cougar, this is right where you want to be.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, these guys, again, thrive on this as a high school, the seniors even more so.
Number 13.
Like Isaac Urareta, Goyena.
Urareta, Goyena is 1 for 3. He has grounded to short. He has popped up to third, and he has doubled to center. As he faces Gavin Silva for the first time. First pitch from Silva, a breaking ball in for strike 1.
And again, lots of great movement there from Gavin Silva and wasting no time to get up on Isaac here.
Now we'll turn the gain down somewhat. I'm being told that we're peaking really bad.
All right.
And Urareta, Goyena is going to call time.
Yeah, from earlier in the season, the AMP has decided to wake up. And
Ramon Garcia checking in, saying, let's go Cougars. That pitch will miss for ball 2.
and again, two pitches well on the outer half, getting away from Xander. So Gavin sort of talking to himself, hey, buddy, the plate's back over here to the right.
2-1 the count to Urareta, Goyena. His swing and a miss on a pitch down and away for strike 2.
And just like that, a quick adjustment from Gavin Silva, and he's right back in it.
2-2 the count. Silva winds and deals a breaking ball that's just fouled off.
Yeah, and some absolute nasty movement on those pitches from Gavin that almost drew a swing and a miss, having end capped that ball from Isaac. And I would think there'd be a little inside fastball here.
Silva shaking off the signs, and he gets one he likes, the 2-2. This is hit back cut to left field, and that will be a base hit for the Urareta, Goyena.
Following the single, that'll bring up number 30, Cayman Cantu.
Cayman Cantu will come to the mound. He is singled to right. He has struck out, and he's been hit by a pitch. He was left stranded back in the 5th. Silva from the stretch. And Cantu will lay down a butt. It's played by Gonzalez. He'll make the throw to first in time. What a heads-up play by Blake Gonzalez as Silva
And
slipped
by
and fell.
Gavin. So, well, I don't know if it was that a slip and fall as much as it was let me get out of his way, because Blake was right on top of it, you know, ready to make the play. Again, very much an easier play from Blake Gonzalez, who's playing in on the grass.
A sack
versus-
bunt for Cantu. And they're going to walk Canalicchio.
You know, and again, it's very smart coaching as they keep the double play ball alive here, knowing runner at second scores, it's the end of the game. So you
So they
keep
do
that
have
double
that
play.
double play in play here. And this has worked for Coach Crimpine before.
Yeah, and Gavin's
Ortiz
a big
is 0
ground
for
ball.
3.
Gavin does induce a lot of ground balls with his pitching style, a lot of late movement, very hard to time and barrel that up for the batters, and is able to get those ground balls, and infield is really looking to snag this, get the double play, and get out of the inning, and let's go to extras.
Steve, let me know if the audio is better. And they're saying he balked. And that will take the double play away.
I don't
know.
Everybody else called balk, not the umpires.
Yeah, I didn't see the balk. I mean, he didn't even make a motion to come home, and
He
so
was like this.
So I'm not seeing. We'll see what the umpires say. They're meeting, and then we'll know a little more, because that would put. And so they're saying it is a balk. They saying he was rocking, and he rocked toward home. And so that puts the go-ahead run at third base. Another controversial call that the Raiders have been caught in on the season. And you hate that plays a factor in a game of this magnitude.
Yeah, and you know, and I wouldn't say that we've really put ourselves in a position where we could overcome that, because we haven't had a lot of problems in this game. And
the pitch gets away from.
He did offer, and they are asking for the appeal, and
They're saying he didn't go.
He didn't go. He offered at that and did check the swing. I couldn't quite tell how far the barrel got around.
2 on with 1 out. Coach Crimpine's going to call time. And so it looks like that they're going to walk to load the bases.
And interestingly enough, I will probably, because I do believe I saw Crimpine throw his arm up to indicate that he was asking for a lefty to come in, which the only lefty we had throughout the year was
Carson Henderson.
Carson Henderson, who unfortunately is out for the season, and it is number 13, which is Dalton.
Dalton. Did we just have Dalton?
We just have Dalton. We have a first name. So, Dalton Holberg.
Dalton Holberg.
Mr. Jonathan Wilson coming to the aid of the unknowing here. And that's one thing Crimpine loves, is a lefty. Absolutely has always wanted lefties in his lineup. And, you know, aside from Nolan Harris this year, that's been it. You know, Henderson having a great start to the season and going down with an injury.
Bases full of Cougars with 1 out. As Dalton Holberg will get his warm-ups in.
I'm sorry, Holbrook. I was corrected again, not Holberg, Holbrook. He is a junior for Rouse. One of the call-ups here in the playoffs that we do see a lot of extra bodies in the dugout, a lot of which will be used on the base path for pinch runners, some pitch hitting situations, and then obviously bolstering the bullpen for Coach Krimpine. And
Gavin Silva goes a third of an inning as Dalton Holbrook comes on in relief to try to get the Raiders out of a bases-loaded jam. Raiders need a strikeout,
Up to bat.
and then that'll
10,
put a force at any base.
double play works just the same.
Well, that's true, too.
Double play here works just the same because the force trumps any runner that comes home.
That will bring up Evan Janner. And Janner has been a hot bat. He was intentionally walked his last time up. He has singled and tripled. Lefty-lefty matchup. Swing and a miss for
Big
strike
cut
one.
and a miss, and Janner was looking to end this game on one swing right there as he tried to jump all over that pitch. A little bit of different speed he's looking at here versus what he had with Colin.
The 0-1 pitch, a breaking ball. Wow, I'm not sure where that missed.
I'm assuming
It had to be low.
low or possibly inside, but what a great pitch there.
1-1 the count to Janner. Holbrook from the stretch. The 1-1 pitch, a breaking ball. Oh my gosh.
And again, another great pitch that wasn't low that time. It was maybe up in the zone because once again, that had a ton of movement on it. Started actually behind the batter.
2-1 the count to Janner. The 2-1 pitch. That is swung on and missed for strike two. And the count is even.
You know, and almost a little double cross there. Ball got away from Xander, and luckily he was able to knock it down enough to keep it in. And outfield is in here, basically giving up any fly ball, because any deep fly ball that gets over their head would be a tag up for the runner at third.
Holbrook will step off and reset, and Porcel will run back through the signs. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He strikes him out.
Great stuff. Unbelievable.
Janner retired for the first time tonight. And that will bring up a pinch hitter.
And that would be number 6, which is Kyle Head. Coming in, and he is subbing in for Elijah Farley, number 18 Elijah Farley. So first time to get to see him.
Number 6, Kyle Head.
And with Coach having that opportunity with Janner, a lefty-on-lefty matchup is a great situation to bring him in. He came in, faced the one batter he was expected to go against, and did an unbelievable job. And then Nathan Bergman steps in here, number 18, senior. Again, a great 12-6, great stuff. A lot of movement, and now we have a fresh pitcher against a fresh batter we have not had any opportunity to see. And again, pitchers living for this moment. Coaches letting the home plate umpire know what's going on. letting them know the substitutions of what's happening.
What a contest that is going on here tonight, and you see defensive strategy by a coach to get out of a jam.
Unbelievable. Yeah, against the best hitter for the squad, New Braunfels Cougars, this evening. I don't know what their stats are on the year. If we had the crew here for us, having a stat crew, we could get that. So, but Nathan going through his warm-up pitches and getting a feel for the mound, and again another pitcher for Rouse that is really a quick worker and coming in a great spot here.
Silva goes a third. Holbrook goes a third. And looking for Nathan Bergman.
Yeah, and again,
to get us out.
We do have an opportunity here. I can go over real quick. Colin Correjo going 6 full innings, allowing 6 hits, 4 strikeouts and only 2 walks. He did have 3 earned runs, with 4 runs being scored. Gavin Silva and Holbrook both going a third, as Michael just pointed out. Gavin allowing the 1 hit, but did have the 2 walks, no strikeouts, and then Holbrook comes in and gets that 1 strikeout, the most important strikeout up to this point in the game.
That'll bring up to the plate.
Colin did have 100 pitches, 59 for strikes, Gavin 8, and Holbrook 5.
Oh, so he breaks a change. He brings Elijah Farley back in.
And again, because it was a lefty-righty. So, again, gamesmanship here. Coach for New Braunfels says, okay, I don't want another lefty-on-lefty matchup, so I'm going to bring in a pinch hitter that is a right-handed bat for your lefty pitcher. And then when Crimpine makes the move.
Farley is 1 for 2. He has struck out twice and singled.
And the re-entry is legal because he has not taken a pitch for New Braunfels, so Farley is able to come in with no problem.
Bergman from the stretch. First pitch offering. Misses for ball 1.
Much to the dismay of the Rouse faithful here, as I would assume that ball was low in the zone.
The 1-0 delivery. Misses outside for ball 2. That one definitely out of the zone.
Okay, I couldn't quite see. I didn't have a good look on that one. Nathan doing a quick breath reset here, as you do not obviously want to come in this situation. And
2-0 the count to Farley. A pitch from Bergman. Misses inside for ball 3. No place to put him. And the Raiders can't afford a walk-off walk.
No, not at all. Not at all. And again, home plate umpire checking the New Braunfels dugout for the ball 4 calls. Trying to induce the walk here, as they probably watch a lot of Aggie baseball.
The 3-0, that's in for a strike, and you knew he would be taking.
Yeah, but what a pressure-filled pitch there from Nathan Bergman.
He has to go right back down the middle again.
Exactly. Challenging.
The 3-1, that's down the middle for strike 2. And Bergman has worked it full.
So now, knowing his put-out pitch is that breaking pitch, he has yet to throw it for a strike. Does he go back to that, or does he challenge the batter with a strike, or with a fastball, excuse me?
I think you got a challenge.
Yes,
if
for
anything,
sure.
he puts it in play, and you can get the out at first. He's out. There's no place to go, and that will do it.
Wow. SWAT, he absolutely watched that, expecting to get a call.
That'll do it for the second.
And again, the home plate umpire
We've got extra innings.
is
They
now
get no runs on one hit. They leave them loaded. On to the 8th we go. We're tied at 4.
And I hope everybody did not step away for any popcorn during that exchange between Nathan Bergman and Farley.
The strategy by Coach Krimping pays off and extends this contest to the 8th inning.
In for a little bonus baseball here on Thursday night.
Still awaiting a pitcher to come out, and it looks like Irureta Goyina will come on in relief.
Senior right-hander coming in, and he'll get his decent amount of warm-ups and pitches, and we can then, of course, review how Braun Farr fared this evening on the mound. He did, of course, go 7 innings, allowing 6 hits on 103 pitches, 67 for strikes. Did have 4 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, and no walks. So very, very effective there, and not really giving any free base runners, as well as not having hit any batters, did Braun Farr. So again, a really good job on his part.
You see at center field, see who's made changes.
Center field is,
I think I see 6,
7.
and right field. I can't see who's in.
It's a single digit for sure in both center and right. Center fielder
No,
is
it's a
somebody
double
that's
digit
been
in
playing.
center.
Okay, somebody that has been playing, because he's dirty.
So 6 is in.
Well, 6 was Kyle Head that was coming in. Yeah, 6 is Kyle Head, who was going to be he was in earlier in the game. He was going to come in as the pinch hitter, but thought a lot different of it. But he now comes in right field.
And I can't make out if he can turn so I can see the back of his jersey. I might be able to make it out.
Kamen is still there.
Due up for the Raiders.
Up to bat, number 22, Nathan Miller. Number 12.
I got Sparshoe. So Sparshoe, Heinrich, and Miller.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've got good eyes, but they're not that good. It's a bit shaded dark out there in center field.
Sparshoe is 0 for 2. He has struck out and popped up to first. Irureta Goyina winds and deals high for ball 1.
And it has gone official. Liberty Hill does fall to Bernie Champion 7-3.
A breaking ball in for a strike. And that will even things up at 1. Pitch down and away for ball 2. Irureta Goyina working quickly. The 2-1 pitch. A little slider on the outside corner for strike 2, and that will even things up. A breaking ball. This is hit out towards left center, and the center fielder able to get to it. Still can't make out his jersey number to credit him with the catch. But that will do it.
18 maybe?
Ty
Yeah,
Nolan.
Elijah Farley? Is that Farley? Was Farley
Up to bat, number 9, Rainer Heinrich.
I don't think that's Farley. Heinrich will take for a ball.
Farley was in right field, so it's not opposed to say that he would have moved to center field.
That might be right.
And
Yeah,
Kyle
I think
Head
you're
is in right field, but it's
Pitch misses for ball. 2-0 the count to Heinrich. Loreto Goyena winds and deals for ball 3, and he works quickly.
Very much so. Again, it really is great to see, just fast pace, nobody prolonging every pitch as we have seen previously.
It's ball 4, and Heinrich is aboard with a walk.
Up to bat.
That will bring up Landon Miller. Miller has flown out to left. He has singled to left, and he has homered to left.
Yes, and tied this game up at 4 in the 6th, which is obviously where we stand now, still at 4s.
He has scored twice. From the stretch, Heinrich extends his lead at first. Loreto Goyena deals the outside corner for ball 1.
Yeah, and Loreto Goyena has got a lot of good movement on this, as well as a
Miller calls time, and
good fastball.
Loreto Goyena stays towed in on the rubber. The 1-0 pitch, that's in for a strike. A nice breaking ball, and that will even it up.
Yeah, again, a lot of great late movement on that as it breaks really crisply back towards the plate.
The 1-1 pitch, that's fouled off for strike 2.
And then that's the 2-seamer that turns around and breaks right back in on the hands of Landon Miller and is able to avoid the barrel. Just got a little piece of it.
The Raiders have played several extra inning games this season. And Miller gives this one a little poke to short, the throw to first. Oh, just in time, and I thought he beat that out. But the first base umpire was there to call it.
Yeah, he was right on that, able to make that call. Again, really big glove over there with Will.
That was a great play by Sam Ortiz to get the out at first for out number 2. That will move Heinrich to second for Mikey Caputo, who faked me earlier on what I thought was going over the fence that Janner was able to get to, and for a fly ball out. Loreto Goyena will deal down and away for ball 1.
And again, the batter's really having a split second to determine, is that ball going to break hard as it is and out of the zone, or is it going to stay in there? And
1-0 pitch misses low for ball 2.
Doing a great job of being patient up there.
2-0 the count to Caputo.
Is Mikey Caputo, and looking to have another opportunity to do what he did in the last inning, but get a little bit more of that. And
Caden Kaspar on deck. One on with 2 outs here in the top of the 8th in a tie ball game. Isaac Loreto Goyena on the mound, and he will deal high for ball 3.
Yeah, and definitely something that's got to be paid attention to by the hitters here, that he has not thrown many true strikes that either haven't been swung at.
3-0 the count to Caputo. The pitch, that's in for a strike. Might have been a little bit low.
Yeah, exactly, as I heard.
Heinrich extends his lead at second. Nobody really holding him on. The 3-1 pitch. That misses outside for ball 4, and Loreto Goyena gives up his second walk of the inning.
Kaspar.
Runners at first and second for Caden Kaspar. Kaspar is 1 for 3. He has flown out to left, grounded to short, and tripled to center. How big would that be to triple to center again, or put it over the fence?
Or pull it hard to right with the right fielder being in and shallow.
He'll
Oh, my
take for a
goodness.
strike.
That's chin music, Blue. Wow. Sorry.
That's the dad in him coming out.
Wow.
0-1 the count to Kaspar. Kaspar will take on the inside pitch, and Ott will run into him in the batter's box. That will not be interference.
No, unbelievable, though.
1-1 the count. Coach Crampane calls time. He wants to talk with Kaspar. Kaspar in an even 1-1 count.
You know, and again, this could be an easily discussion of, hey, lay me a little bunt down the third base line here.
I don't know. You got some
Beat it
speed.
out.
You got some speed on that mound right there. And Edo Retogoyina, keep in mind,
That's
he's
why
a
he has
center
to be
fielder.
on the line.
The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss for strike 2. One and two the count to Kaspar. 2 on with 2 out. Runners at first and second. Edo Retogoyina on the mound will deal the 1-2 pitch. That's high for ball 2. Deuce is wild for Kaspar. Oscar Salazar on deck. Edo Retogoyina comes set. That pitch inside, the throw down to third, not in time.
Great.
As Heinrich
jump.
will pick up the steal. A double steal in place.
Yeah, double steal there.
And a full count to Caden Kaspar.
And I'll tell you what, a great job of laying off that, because that was an inside pitch, and on a lefty, that's so hard to not offer at that pitch.
They have it too. There they go. They got it fixed now on the board. It's a full count. Payoff pitch coming up. An open base at first. Breaking ball catches him looking for strike 3 as that pitch was right down the middle.
To the top of the 8th.
And the Raiders blow a great opportunity to put another run on the board. The Raiders will get no runs on no hits. They leave 2 after 7.5.
And
We're knotted up at 4. Due up in the 8th for the Cougars. Kinsey, Ott, and Villanueva.
Yeah.
Back to the bottom of the order. That's your 7, 8, and 9 hitters. That's the third time that particular order has come to bat in an inning.
Yes, sir. And
To start an inning.
Nathan Bergman does come back in here to toe the rubber.
The Raiders no strangers to extra inning baseball in the playoffs.
Yeah. Cedar Park, 1 game playoff victory. Dripping Springs,
14 innings.
inning
In a lightning
victory.
delay.
Hour delay to start, then an hour delay during the game
And then goes 14 innings.
with only 2 pitchers.
And
for
what
Rouse.
And what a performance by Colby Diaz and Keegan Solomon
Yes.
to get the win in that game. Keegan Solomon with a walk-off, which looked like it was over the fence, but hits the fence and scores the winning run.
Oh, and interesting enough, I did try to get a Cedar Park
Bergman deals high for ball 1.
update, and they actually do
to
not play their game
Jackson
until
Kinsey.
tomorrow.
One and 0 the count to Kinsey. Breaking ball misses outside for ball 2. 2-0 the count. Colin Ott on deck. The 2-0 pitch, that's high and inside for ball 3. 3-0 the count to Kinsey. Kinsey's 0 for 3 on the night. Bergman winds and deals outside for ball 4, and he walks him. The go-ahead run is aboard.
Following the walk, that'll bring up number 16,
Colin Ott will come to the plate. He's 0 for 3. He has popped up to second. He's flown out to right and grounded to short. Coach Crimpine is going to call time, and he's got Nolan Harris possibly coming in.
Yes, a quick glove swap there for Nolan.
And Colin Correjo will come in at first. Rainer Heinrich comes out, and not sure what's going on there. So some wholesale defensive changes going on. We'll see here in just a minute once everything settles out, and we'll know where people are. We definitely know that Correjo is at first.
Yes.
And Harris is on the mound.
And I know there was some discussions of Rainer getting – oh, no, he was just going out to, who knows, get a drink of water?
Maybe.
So another lefty specialist in Nolan Harris, almost submarine style, and I absolutely love watching him pitch as he is never going to be a guy that's going to blow it by you with heat, but he will make you look really foolish with the breaking stuff that he has.
Colin Ott will be at the plate. Trip Villanueva on deck. And Udureta Goyena in the hole.
And getting a quick update.
Harris, the fifth Raider pitcher of the night.
Following the pitching change, that'll bring up number 16, Colin Ott.
And again, Colin Ott stepping in, waiting for his first opportunity here.
Well, it's actually his fourth opportunity.
First opportunity to see Nolan.
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't quite finish my sentence. I'm sorry.
Colin
first
Ott,
opportunity.
0 for 3. He has popped up to second, flown out to right, and grounded to short.
And again, with other than Colin coming in to relieve.
And he shows bunt, and he will bunt it foul down the first baseline for strike one.
And really a jab at that, doing everything he could to lay down that bunt.
We do have a pinch runner for Jackson Kinsey.
Not seeing a number yet.
Number 2 or number 12.
And we'll know
It'll be
momentarily.
Daniel Inman.
It is a 12, yes, sir. So Daniel Inman, correct.
The 0-1 pitch down and away for ball one. Inman extending his lead at first.
And got a lot out there a
He
good
did get
ways
way
as
out
Colin
there.
sort of waved at Xander. Go ahead, man. Throw it. I got you. I got you over here.
Interesting that he would get such a large lead on a left-handed pitcher. Throw to first will not be in time.
I would assume very quick and nimble a foot is Inman. And honestly, I would, with a 1-1 count here, why not throw that ball to the outer half and see if they can't get a back pick here.
Again, the throw to first, not in time. Ott again shows bunt. Harris will deal. This is bunted down the first baseline. Forsell has it throw to first in time, and that'll be the sacrifice to move the runner over.
That'll bring up to the plate. Number 1, Trip Villanueva.
Yeah, he does a good job.
That'll go 2-3 on the putout of Ott for out number 1.
Yeah, I was going to say he did a really good job there, putting it in a situation where Nolan and Xander almost collided on that. Nolan luckily holding up and giving Xander an opportunity to make that play.
Villanueva 0 for 3 as well. He's grounded to short, popped up to second, and flown out to right. Harris from the stretch. First pitch to Villanueva. Wow, I cannot believe he did not call that.
He even had to look back in.
But we've seen that from both sides, right? So
yes.
He's just.
But yet he calls a strike that's higher than that in the zone.
Throw back to second. Well, not being time is he at least throws it to Heinrich and didn't throw it into center field.
Yes. Had that already happen one time in this game. We don't need it in this situation here.
1-0 the count to Villanueva. He goes right back to the same pitch, and this time gets the strike call.
And that one was actually further outside than the first one that was a no call for the ball, so possible makeup, who knows. Needless to say, we get a 1-1 count here.
1-1 count.
1-1. 1-1. He's basically saying it's 0-1.
Wait a minute. How he called a strike?
0-1. Now he's saying 0-2.
It should be 1 and 2. That's his third pitch.
Yeah, he had a miscount against Kaspar earlier in the game
1-2.
as well.
Now he's got it right.
There we go. Welcome to the game, Blue. Welcome to the game.
1-2 the count to Villanueva. Harris deals. A breaking ball sails high for ball 2. Ramon says, let's go, Trip. He also said it was real nail biter, and that's no lie. It has
that
been.
Right.
What a contest this has been.
And we wouldn't expect anything else with these two teams. Again, they've seen each other quite a few times. Not necessarily all the same guys, but quite a few that have definitely are familiar with each other.
The 2-2 pitch. That's down the middle. Oh, my gosh, and he did not get the call. And I don't know how much better you could place it.
I mean, with the pitch that was called a ball earlier in the at-bat, not a strike, and then that pitch there, not a strike. I just honestly don't understand if the strike zone is maybe a foot high.
I don't know.
And again, I can't see top to bottom with both the and the catcher being in the way.
Like we said, he's done that to both sets of pitchers, both teams' pitchers.
Yes, sir.
He's been frustrating at times to pitchers that have to deal extra strikes to get a batter out.
Right, and you don't want that affecting in a situation like this.
Or like in Landon Miller's case, that pitch fouled off. He gets to extend his at bat and then puts it over the left field fence.
Right. I think the term we used earlier in the season for one of the umpires that we had, consistently inconsistent.
That pitch misses inside for ball 4.
This is just
Following the walk, that'll bring up number 13, Isaac Wyman.
becoming absolutely brutal now. I mean, we
But, yeah, some terrible calls coming from this umpire.
And again, a quick jog to the mound for Xander to talk a little bit with Nolan. And
Hiro Retagoyina will come to the plate. He's 2 for 4. He has grounded to short. He has popped up to third. He has doubled and singled. Coach Crimpane is going to call time, and he'll make a visit to the mound.
And that could be to see a change here, as it is.
And it will be, and we'll see who's...
Jack Knight coming in. I know we had a talk with him last night at the banquet. He was itching to get into this game and go out on what could be one of his last opportunities in baseball, as he is a senior and currently not slated to play at the next level, but that's always possible. Again, a lot of great movement from the arm of Jack Knight. Decent speed on the fastball, but can easily keep these batters off balance with the breaking pitch. That is his put-out pitch. And I believe we may be lagging again. Oh, wow. So, yeah, we've got, again, warm-up here, pitches from Jack Knight as Isaac Uro-Retagarina is ready for his opportunity for his 5th at-bat of the game. Again, 2 for 4 in the contest so far. It'll be his first look here at Jack Knight and Jack's first batter. Great job of the Rouse trainer coming out to offer some water to the umpires as they wait for the warm-up pitches here to be completed. And looks like we're maybe one pitch away. Coach giving some last few words of encouragement to his boys before he steps back in the dugout. And the wind's starting to pick up a little bit. Has run the flies off.
You see the flag in left field.
Yep.
It's starting to move.
Definitely still an extremely cloudy night. And here we
Isaac
are.
Uro-Retagoyina will make his way to the plate for his 5th plate appearance of the night.
Yeah, and again, one easy ground ball away from getting out of this inning with 1 out, 2 on, as the double play is very much alive here.
First pitch offering from Knight misses high for ball 1.
You know, and again, Knight with the movement that he has, is really good at getting those ground ball hits.
And Knight getting called for a balk. Raiders pitching, getting called for the second balk of the night. And
I think he probably came set. Xander stood up to give the signs to the infield, and
so they're going to walk him, intentionally walk him.
I don't know. I'll have to go back and watch the video on that.
To load
really,
the bases.
I'm assuming it had something to do with Xander standing up to make the call to the infield.
Number 30 came in,
Again, bases loaded here, and similar to the last inning with Gavin Silva getting a balk called on him to not allow that double play to stay alive. First pitch is cut on and swing and a miss from Cantu that does bounce away from Xander, but he's able to jump up and get that back into his glove before the runner is able to move but just a few feet up the line. And that is Jackson Kinsey there at third. With Trip Villanueva at second. And Isaac Yurogetiaina at first.
Knight from the stretch. That first pitch misses low for ball one.
Second pitch.
Oh, second pitch.
1-1.
1-1 the count.
Yeah, did have the swing and miss. Once again, anywhere here, we can get an out.
1-1 pitch, misses outside.
And
2-1 the count.
Yeah, and Jack quick to take the foot off the rubber as Xander stands up to talk to the infield, and so he doesn't get called for another balk.
The 2-1 pitch. That's hit out to left center, and that's your ball game. Damon Cantu with a walk-off RBI single.
Your final score, Canyon 5, Rouse 4.
And Canyon takes game one of this series 5-4 off the bat of Cayman Cantu, who has been a hot hitter all night tonight.
Isn't my girlfriend
So he's...
Yeah, disappointing, start to this series, as many opportunities there for Rouse to win this outright without going into extra innings, and several opportunities during those innings to capitalize and not able to do it. And
well, it's baseball, and that's the way it falls out. So regardless of circumstances or what have you, it just happens that way. But game two will be tomorrow night at Rouse, and thank goodness we get another opportunity.
Yes, we do. Game two, it's a best 2 out of 3 series, not a one and go home, scenario. And we get to debut the new Halo.
Yeah, absolutely.
At Rouse Field. So everybody that has not seen it or had an opportunity to stop by the field, please come out and support the Rouse team and take some pictures of the beautiful Halo that we now have behind home plate, very similar to the one here at New Braunfels Canyon Cougar Stadium.
So in answer to your question, Ramon, yes, we will be broadcasting tomorrow night. That will be a 6:50 broadcast start, 7 o'clock game start. So we welcome everybody to join in and watch bi-district playoff baseball and cheer your favorite team on here. Rouse for Rouse, if you're Canyon for Canyon, but please keep your comments clean in the chat. We leave that function open so that we can communicate with everybody and give you an opportunity to shout out to your favorite player. Not criticize the broadcast. This is a Rouse broadcast. So we want you to understand that, and we try to be as neutral as we can be for both teams involved. And please honor that, just as though if your team was presenting a broadcast that that opposing team watching your broadcast would be as respectful. So please respect ours. And regardless, we try to play the umpire, and we mentioned that the umpire was calling bad calls and non-calls both ways. We weren't complaining and saying that the umpire was costing Rouse the game. So just to let you know, that's not needed on the broadcast. We want this to be fun and equitable for everybody that's listening to our broadcast. So, and DW, thank you. Yes, it was a good game. Ronnie, thank you very much for your compliments. And Raiders unfortunately dropped game one, which was a very good contest. They were down 2-0. They came back to tie 2-2 or actually take the lead 3-2. Then Canyon ties the game up, and then they take the lead, and then Rouse ties the game up, and then we go into extras. And then Cayman Cantu at the plate with bases loaded did what he was called on to do.
Exactly.
He puts the ball in left center and drives in the go-ahead run. You saw strategy from Coach Crimpine with difficult situations and putting, intentionally walking runners to put force plays in, to put double plays in.
And then the game's been shipped. Lefty on lefty matchup that got us out of that inning, and then turning around and bringing in what looked to be a righty batter to go against the lefty pitcher, and then they turn around and say, okay, I'm going to bring in a righty pitcher, and then they go ahead and swap out their batter again. So
it's
great
a
to
fun
see.
high school broadcast, and we hold no malice toward anybody. Just please keep your comments clean, and let's enjoy this together. We're all fans of high school baseball. We want to recognize the accolades and the accomplishments of both teams' players, and we will acknowledge that. And that's the purpose of bringing baseball to you.
Right. Let the play talk.
Right.
Let the play talk. It was a very well-played game on both sides. We wouldn't have expected anything different than this.
No, these are two great programs. They faced each other in the bi-district round for 3 years running. So we do thank you for tuning in. You fans that have been taking active part in chats, thank you for being so kind, and thank you for your good words. We appreciate that very much. And so we will see you all tomorrow night at Rouse. For Jonathan Kaspar, I'm Michael